It is good to see this many people in attendance at the 10:30 service. I can't quite say the same for the 8 o'clock service. Usually they try to be in competition with all of you, but when I asked no less than 5 people this morning where their spouse was, the reply was, in bed, too cold. Maybe this may be one of the few cozy places in Coral Springs right now. You know, while we are all gathered together this morning, I want us to not only reflect on what we have just completed this past year, and I know so many of us are making New Year's resolutions, and we had New Year's parties, or New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and I don't want us to lose at church the understanding that we're still celebrating Christmas. And our collect this morning addresses this fact rather eloquently. Please allow me to read it again in part. O God, who wonderfully created and yet more wonderfully restored the dignity of human nature, grant that we may share the divine life of Him who humbled Himself to share our humanity, your Son, Jesus Christ. A good deal of the time that I spent on my sabbatical was journey time. Not just a spiritual journey, but flat out hit the road, looking through a windshield, journeying from one corner of the country to the other. It was time well spent, and it was exactly what I was looking for and hoped that it would be. In driving, much of my time was spent going from east to west, which is a bit of a rarity if you live in Southeast Florida. I realized as I was driving that the sun at your back, you not only got a view of what was ahead, but you often saw your reflection in the windshield. It was surprising at times to catch a glimpse of yourself looking ahead. And it gave greater meaning to an understanding of reflection, which so much of my sabbatical was spent. In our gospel reading this morning, we hear again a very, very familiar story of the wise men. Prophecy, journeying, searching, discovering, and yes, homage. This particular passage helps to complete much of the traditional Christmas teaching and the story of the birth of the Christ child. One of the central tenets of the story is the recognition of just who the Christ child is and what place both God and humanity play in God's creation of all that is. One of the questions we might pose upon reflection of God's creation is why in the heck would God, knowing the mess we would most likely make of everything, create all of us? All of us and all of this in the first place. The answer could simply be because of where we are, what we're celebrating. Right here, right now, Christmas itself. The birth of the Christ child and the decision by God to share God's self with our humanity may simply be enough. God, as the collect reads, humbling Himself to share our humanity so that we might share the divine life of God. Pretty heavy stuff. But that's where one winds up when you move the focus of the celebration of Christmas away from Best Buy, Walmart, and move it into the church. God, just as Jesus will exhibit during His entire life, entire ministry, will take the first step toward us, inviting each and every one of us into a shared life, celebrating the gift of love. You know, it may really be that simple. And I'm not going to try this morning to try and complicate matters by trying to take this wonderful gift to the convoluted last-minute attempt at finding the ultimate present right before the event. God takes that step, that very first step, because God is exhibiting that unconditional love for us that He has shown to the Christ child. God takes that step because He is offering all of humankind, the opportunity to restore the dignity of human nature. Christmas is about restoration, allowing us to step away from our own world that we have created, this world of panic, of conflict, of self-determination, into a peaceful world of bold assurance that the presence of God can and will be the driving force in our collective lives, if we only elect and allow God to come in. If God is willing to take that first step toward restoration through the birth of Christ, we celebrate this Christmas. Doesn't it make sense to at least humble ourselves and acknowledge the gift by taking a step towards God ourselves? As we enter into this new year, reflecting on our lives and in ourselves and in our families and our friends, while making promises about the new year ahead, I ask that you consider one thing: allowing God, through the divine light of the birth of Christ, to enter into your life completely, wholly, not in part, in whole. Asking God to journey with you each and every step